What's up, guys? I want to give you a brief look into how we program our athletes within their competition cycle and give you some ideas on where people are missing out. Parents and athletes, this can be huge for you to understand to maximize your athletic potential as well as stay healthy and relevant on the court or on the field. So you'll see right here we have kind of just a breakdown. These aren't necessarily relatively the right size based on the athlete. This can change. But we've got in-season general physical preparedness, reload, strength and speed progress, or time to put on muscle, increase speed, really tax the athlete with training. And then sport-specific adaptation, that's just going to be starting to have your movements, make sure that they tie back to the sport that you're about to compete in, and make as many changes there that you can that will carry over to the field or court. So ideally an athlete follows along through this cycle. They compete in season, they go through that reload or general physical preparedness, they make progress, and then we start to dial it in before season, and that is a roundabout way of keeping the athlete healthy. Okay. The concept I want to look at with this is what from Derek Woodsky this weekend I learned is you kind of need to earn your token or your credit. So we're going to think about it that way. Your opportunity to play the game. Okay. And this is the window. So the GPP, strength, and sport specific, that's the window to build upon that you can use that token and spend it in season. Okay. Now the problem is if you don't build this token, you're not going to have the opportunity to be A, as good of an athlete as you can be, and B, injury resilient. So you're going to run into common injuries all the time. You might have a lot of pain when you play. That's typically how we can break this down simply into why you have a lot of issues in season. Okay. And what you can do in season, an important part of that is as your token's being spent or used, you can maintain as much as that as you can by continuing to train, continue to be consistent, and building those qualities and maintaining qualities that you worked on in the off season. So if you empty that token or you use the complete token in the season, your performance is going to be lacking and your injury risk is going to be higher, or actually having an injury. Okay. Now, common issues we see with our athletes is they completely skip. So they get done with the sport and they skip the GPP or the reload phase. So they come in late, so they don't have as much time to earn their token. Okay, or they start up here and they just say, hey, I have a basketball coming up in a month. What can you do to help me get ready for in season? It's just not enough time and not the proper way to build what you need to be able to go into season and make it through healthy. Okay. Another thing you're going to find is in today's climate, there's typically not an off season. So a lot of kids are playing so many sports. Not only are they playing 3 sports, but they're also doing club seasons for each sport. This is going to be an issue and something that you have to dig deep and talk to your parents about, and parents need to reflect on. Is my athlete truly getting an off season? Because this part is imperative to being the best athlete they can be and staying healthy, and also avoiding burnout or starting to actually not enjoy sports. We actually see that more than you would think. So big issues. So we're going to try to find our off-season opportunities. So maybe you don't do as many tournaments as you normally do. Maybe you pick a couple in the summer you're going to do. Instead of playing 100 basketball games, you pick 3 or 4 tournaments that make more sense for you, where you'll get the more exposure, or the ones you want to compete in. So find an off-season opportunity, or consider one of your sports that you're not as serious about as more of an off-season, and make sure to prioritize your training. Okay? So find an off-season so you can reload and decompress. That's physically, that's mentally as well. Number 2, earn your credit. A lot of kids are not earning their credit. Okay, they're not spending the time they need to build themselves to be able to maximize this in-season period. All right, and then number 3 is continuing to train in season. You need to find a way to move outside of your sport to continue to build strength or maintain, and make sure that you don't maximize and spend this entire token halfway through the season. Because if that happens, like I said, your performance is going to drop, and then worst case, you're going to get injured. Okay, and you're going to have injuries, you're going to have issues, and you're not going to be able to finish the season out completely. So I want to give you just a look into this model. This is a common error we see in today's climate. People are asking us all the time, should our athlete train in season? Yes, they should, and they should also continue to train consistently throughout the year. Okay, I would rather see an athlete that instead of jumping in here halfway through this cycle and coming 3 or 4 times a week and putting a lot of work in for a small window, I'd rather see these athletes being consistent. 2 days a week here, 2 days a week during the year here, 2 days a week here, and then potentially 1 in season. But continuing to be consistent and earn those tokens and spending them wisely is how you're going to be a successful athlete and how you're going to avoid injury and be able to be on the field or the court as often as frequent as possible. If you guys have any questions on this, send them over. Appreciate you guys watching. Have a great day.